Page 118, Amazing Grace. This is a beautiful arrangement of this piece. They're introducing you to eighth note triplets. Well, a triplet is a triplet. It doesn't matter what the note is, so let's just deal with it. It's just that now we're playing 3 eighth notes instead of 2 in the same amount of time. You play them a little quicker. There's different kinds of ways to count it. I just put an instead of 1 and 2 and. I go 1 and 2 and 3 and. You count it any way you want. Sometimes I just use the word triplet, triplet, triplet. If I don't know which number or beat I'm on, I don't care. I just triplet, triplet. We have to be able to go back and forth between duple and triple time at any. We get it a lot, but we'll get good at it. So duple is just 1 and 2 and. Triple, 1 and 2 and. So it's like here, first full measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Well, you could go triplet all the time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. However, if you look at measure 11, the last measure of the page, that's duple, 1 and 2 and it's only a triplet on the last beat, 3 and. So that first eighth note is now part of a triplet. Don't play it as part of a triplet. It's not. And you get the same thing somewhere on page 119. So we have to be careful. So let's look this piece over. 3/4 time. It's 2 pages long, sort of. No sharps or flats in the key signature. We're in the key of C major. Make sure you can do the C major scale and the A minor scale, and you ought to be doing them 2 octaves up and down by now. You want to do the chromatic scale too? That doesn't hurt anything. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. I don't push the chromatic scale quite so much. Starting with the right hand, let's check this out. 3 and 1 and 2 and. Now I would like to be able to connect the melody here. So I'm going to play on the half note instead of 1/5. I'm going to use 4. That way my little finger is available for that. So it's here, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and then going on instead of third finger. This is measure 3. Instead of third finger, I want to connect it. So I'm going to do a 1, 5, 3. See, that's how I can crawl around here and on the keyboard. I can connect these notes a little better. So measure 3 again is 1 and 2 and then thumb and then 5 here and then go on. Measure 5 again. I'm going to use 1, 4, 2. For the most part, that's the piece. However, measure 11 again. 1 and 2 and 3 and. See, that first eighth note is longer than the other eighth notes because the other eighth notes are part of a triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So the tendency is to do 1 and 2. Is to play all 4 of those notes even, and they're not even. The first note's a little low. Measure 17. You're up here. That ugly looking thing, that is a D sharp, an E, and a G. The wiggly line in front of it, I'll come back to later. Right now, just play these. And you can come down, slide off. And then for this measure 18, they want 4th finger. That's a bit of a stretch. I'm going to do you can do a 3, 5, or a 1, 5. I need a 5 on the E. How you do it, I can do a 2, 5. That's a little awkward. 1, 5 is easier. Or I can do a 3, 5. Pick one and stick with it. And then again, this for measure 19, it's 1, 5. It's like we had before. Now lift up. I can't connect here on measure 21 or 17 or 20. Either way, I can't connect that. So we'll just lift up. Go down to the last line. Measure 28, you're here. And then going on, you can, if you want, instead of come up here, use thumb again, you can do 2, 3, 1. 2. And then lift up. When you repeat it, because it's surrounded by repeat signs, there's a note above it. Second time, right hand 1 octave lower. So you simply come instead of here, you come down here. The left hand will get out of the way. It's okay. Up here. You end it there. Left hand's just broken chords. Rest. Rest. Oh, this is fun. Bored yet? Now, measure 7. 1, 2, 3. 3 and a 1. So there's 4 notes. And they're all a triplet. It's got to be even, you know, to the note after it also. That's pretty much the left hand. Put them together. Remember to lift up in their left hand now on the triplet. So you go through and put it together. Then go back through it a few hundred times or whatever and get rid of the hesitations so it's all nice and even beat-wise, the steady beat. As far as the articulation goes, it's pretty much connected. Now measure 4, we end a phrase and start a phrase. And lift up. If you want, see they don't mark phrasing in here. So, but if you listen to it, you can hear the musical sentences. Just lift up in the right hand for the sentences if you want. And measure 17 on the wavy line thing. It's an arpeggiated chord thing. It's an indication to arpeggiate the chord or play it as a broken chord starting at the bottom note. And hold them down. If it's not done rhythmically, it's just broop. How you interpret it, I'm not going to get into that, but different ways of doing it. Because 1, 2, 1, the middle note is the melody note. And this is like, just a quick, that's it. So some people will play the melody note on the beat. I don't get into that. I just play the bottom note on the beat and let it go at that. So 1, that's on 3. 3. You get the same thing at the bottom. The measure 30 is it here? You're here. I'm going to play the D sharp on the beat. 1 and then 2 and that's all. Dynamics go to the melody, of course. It's soft. Legato with feeling. Legato means connected. I already told you that. But you can get louder and softer if you feel it. Now, measure 8, there's a crescendo. You're going up to about moderately soft here, not very loud. And then measure 15 or so. 14, there's a decrescendo, come down to soft. Now, make the pickup to measure 17, this triplet. It's the last part of measure 16, actually. They split measure 16. We get a split measure. You love it. Anytime you have a pickup beat, you're probably going to have split measures, huh? Because that is a split measure. But this is moderately loud. It's a little louder than moderately soft, but not loud. This piece never gets loud. When you get down to the bottom, for the repeated section, the first time is soft. The left hand is very soft. And then when you repeat it, now you're very soft down here. The left hand is so soft you're practically just blowing on the keys. How soft can you make it? Don't use the soft pedal, that's cheating. We gotta learn to do this with the fingers and the hands. And moderately slow, about where I was going, I think. Just, it's not a fast piece. It's not a, don't drag it. And just just drags it. Does not work on piano. Piano is too percussive. So it's got a flow, but it's just a moderate, slow flow. Then of course they've added pedal. Well, we're adding pedal for the overtones, for the color. And we're pedaling the longer held notes. We're not pedaling any of the moving stuff, the triplet stuff. And you push the pedal down right after you play the notes, and you lift the pedal right after you play the first note in the triplet. Unless it's a new phrase, in which case you lift the pedal with the right hand so you hear the silence for the phrase. Is that tricky or what? So at the beginning it's here, notes first, then the pedal, and lift the pedal after you play the first note in the triplet. So they're connected. But in measure 4, it's a new phrase. So I lift the pedal with the hand, so I hear like a breath. So forth, and that's the pedaling throughout. And yes, at the end there, when you repeat it, it does say slower, so you just play it a little bit slower. How much slower? Not a lot. Don't drag it too much. Just a little slower is fine. I like to play this with you very slowly. Slow anyway. I'm not going to do any dynamics, and I can't change speeds, but we are going to do the repeat, and I'm going to go down an octave and all that junk. So yeah, I'll give us 2 counts. Let's just check notes and rhythms is all we're after here. Ready and go, and 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2.